Alright. At the time of recording this, I just got back from my vacation to Italy, and I'm pretty relaxed right now, but I learned that I got COVID. So if I sound kind of different and even more monotone than I usually am, I'm sorry. I'm recording this while my throat is killing me, but I really need to get this video out. It's been a while. If you read the title, you probably know what this video is. Today I'm going to be doing another Sans AU video, because I've seen some people asking for a part 2, and I kind of want to provide. Due to my really lackluster amount of knowledge about Undertale AUs, I decided to check the comments of my video to see what you guys enjoy about the different AUs. I also saw a bunch of people requesting some different Sans AUs, so I decided to take some of those. Also, thank you very much, all you people in the comment section who helped me out with all the confusing stuff in the Undertale alternate universes and timelines. It was really weird for me, and thanks to all you, I now understand it better. Now, I realized in my last video I barely scratched the surface on how many Sans AUs there are, so in this one, I'm going to be a little more quick about it. I'm going to give brief information on the different Sans AUs. So, without further ado, let's get started. Oh yeah, and one more thing. I keep doing this. I should really stop saying without further ado. But I do understand that AUs and ATs, or alternate universes and alternate timelines, are different things. But I don't really want to change the name because the title of the videos need to stay consistent with each other. Alright, now without further ado, let's get started. Hyperdust Sans, or Hyperdust Sans, is a Sans AU created by YouTuber The Flame Lord, and was based off of a concept by someone named Carno Power. Hyperdust is another version of Murder Sans, or Dusttale Sans, who after killing the entire underground went to another timeline and killed that version's Dust Sans. After murdering multiple Sanses in different timelines and universes, he ended up gaining a lot of hate and termination. He now currently resides in an unknown empty Dusttale AU. Detail Sans, or Determination Tale Sans, is an alternate universe version of Sans from the Determination Tale universe. This one I sadly could not find any author, so if you are the author and watching this video, please say it in the comments. He is a Sans who has injected himself with Determination, and with that power, he can now reset. Detail Dust Sans, or Determination Dusttale Sans, is an alternate universe version of Sans, who comes from an alternate universe of Determination Tale where Sans kills everyone. He's essentially just a stronger version of the regular Dusttale Sans. Once again, I could not find a creator for this, so if you're the creator and watching the video, please speak up in the comments. Insanity Sans is an alternate timeline Sans created by someone named Zero Dantiro. I hope I did not butcher that. He was infected by one of Gaster's experiments, causing him to go insane and kill everyone in the underground. He learns about the ability to reset from Kara and decides to reset the timeline and murder everyone again. Hyperdust is an alternate version of Dusttale Sans created by someone named The Only Dust. In his timeline, he murdered everyone in the underground, including Frisk and Kara, and now he jumps through different timelines to kill all the different versions of Frisk and Kara. He wears Kara's heart locket around his neck and has the blood of Frisk on his shorts, which is pretty metal. Alright, for this one, I'm going to be listing a group, because all these characters are from Determination Tale, but they are different Sans AUs. There's Determination Tale variants of Killer Sans, Horror Sans, Insanity Sans, Nightmare Sans, and Hyperdust Sans. There's also Ink Sans, and Error 404 Sans. There's a lot more, but I don't want to go over every single detail character in one video because I do want some variety. Hyperdust Sans, or Dust Sans, is an alternate timeline version of Dusttale Sans. I could not find the creator for this one, so please, if you are, comment below. This alternate version of Sans killed every monster in the underground and absorbed the 7 human souls. Also in his backstory, the SCP Foundation's in it, and that is pretty wild. Alpha Sans is an alternate universe version of Sans from the Alphatale universe. He's apparently the god of mercy and is brothers with another Sans variant named Error 404 Sans. Not only does his Sans have a lot of abilities, he actually has some transformations as well, like his Soul of Kindness, his Judge form, his Determination. There's a lot of powers for this guy. Thinking that his brother died, Alpha Sans now wanders across the multiverse, attempting to help every AU he finds. Error 404 Sans is another Sans AU from Alphatale, and it was created by Shadowcull15. I completely forgot to credit that guy before, but I'm just doing it now. He is the brother of Alpha Sans, and became evil due to absorbing some power needed in order to destroy another alternate version of Sans who was threatening his world. He and Alpha's backstory are pretty complex, so I will leave the Wikipedia page for those of you who want to read it. I would love to give a lot of detail, but there are a lot of these guys, so I want to go through them as fast as possible. Infected Sans is another Alphatale character created by Shadowcull15. Alright guys, a little quick thing. I do not know if Infected is actually a version of Sans. I am looking at two different wikis, and the information seems a little contradicting, as one of them just calls him Infected, there's no Sans, but the other one calls him Infected Sans. So, I don't know, I'm just gonna count him as a Sans variant right now, but if he isn't, leave a comment below, and that will help me understand. Thank you. Infected is a chaotic psychopath, and was the one who Error 404 and Alpha were fighting against. What I find really cool is his backstory, which I will cover because it is pretty awesome. He was once someone named Jacob who underwent intense and painful experimentation. In order to cope with the pain, he ended up creating an alter ego, or a guardian of sorts, who he called Infected. The idea of a character creating an alter ego in order to cope with trauma is pretty good backstory material, which is why I like it so much. Omnipotent Sans is another Sans AU from the Alphatale universe. He's apparently the brother of the last three Sanses I talked about. He excels at combat and lives to fulfill the prophecy of Ragnarok. Like the other three Sanses, he is extremely OP. Man, there's so many different Sans OCs with universe-destroying powers. You know what we need? We need some weak Sans OCs. Cipher Sans, or Bill Sans, is an alternate universe version of Sans from the Underfalls or Gravity Tail universe. He is a version of Sans who was possessed by the main villain of Gravity Falls, Bill Cipher. If you watched the last 4 episodes of Gravity Falls, you know that this Sans has universe-destroying powers. There's also 2 different variants of Bill Sans. There's Reverse Bill Sans, which is the version of Sans that was possessed by Reverse Bill. And then there's Error Bill Sans, which is Bill Cipher possessing Error Sans. I also couldn't find the creator of this one, so if you are and watching this, like always, please comment. Handplates Sans, or Subject 1S, is an alternate universe version of Sans from the Handplates universe. It was created by Tumblr user Zarla. In this universe, Sans and his brother Papyrus are clones of Gaster who were created in order to break the barrier. He's called Handplates Sans due to the metal plate in one of his hands. King Multiverse is another Sans AU from the Alphatale universe created by Shadowcull15. He was created by Error 404 in order to take the title of Multiverse King. He also has a super form of sorts known as Emperor Multiverse. In this form, he is considered a god of gods. Alright, there's one known as Alpha 404 Sans, but I can't find anything about him because both of the wikis I looked at have been defaced. I could get an author from this one Wikipedia page, someone named Broken Maladin, but if any of you guys have information on this Alpha 404, I would like it because both of the wikis are just completely broken. Next up is a Sans from the alternate universe Axetale, created by Banana Frappe. He is yet another Sans who has gone insane, and he wields an axe with the handle being made out of a spine, which is also very metal. The most confusing part about him is the fact that he has a daughter, according to the wiki, which does not really make sense to me, because he's a skeleton? I don't think he can, but I'm not really sure. Underhat Sans is an alternate version of Sans from the Underhat universe. I really don't know what to say for this one. Like, he has a hat, that's something, but other than that, his hat is very nice, I guess. Alright, out of all the Undertale AUs, this is certainly one of them. Swap or Double Swap Sans is an alternate version of Sans from the Swap universe created by Orin. In this universe, characters' personalities were swapped, but then swapped back to what they originally were. The only real difference this Sans has from the regular Sans is that both of his eyes are blue, and he's slightly more positive due to having a little bit of personality of Underswap Sans. Gans Sans is an alternate version of Sans from the GZ Tale universe, created by Golzy Blade D. He's a Sans variant who experimented with pills of determination and ended up overdosing on them. He currently lives with Toriel in the ruins. Sudden Changes Sans is an alternate version of Sans from the Sudden Changes AU comic, created by Spouting. In this universe, Sans wears a fancy suit, has a gun, and has a coffee addiction, which is all things I really want. When he's angry, his eyes glow red instead of blue. Real quick, I messed up for this AU. I thought it was called Sudden Changes, but the AU is apparently called Oversafe Tale, so that was my bad. Epic Sans is a character from the Epic Tale universe created by Yugo Gear 012. In this universe, Sans received his magic through an eye given to him by Gaster, allowing him to control all the Gaster blasters and bones. He's apparently a huge meme lord and says the word bro a lot, which sounds a lot like me when I was 13. Axetale Sans, X Sans, or just Cross, is an alternate version of Sans from the Axetale universe, created by someone named JK95. In this universe, Sans is a lot stronger as he is willing to train, and he is actually part of the Royal Guard, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I feel like I'm not giving all these different Sans AUs justice, as they all seem to have some really cool backstory that I'm not really diving into that much. So if you do want to look at these characters' backstories, go to the Wikipedia pages I put in the links, as by searching up whatever Sans AU you want, there's links to their stories down below. So enjoy that. For Swapfell Sans, there are actually 6 different versions of him. Swapfell is essentially like Underswap, as all the characters' personalities are swapped around, and they all have that dark and violent nature like from Underfell. Storyshift Sans, or King Sans, is an alternate version of Sans created by Vulture the Lively in the Storyshift universe. In this universe, Sans is actually king of the underground, and his goal, much like Asgore's, is to find the 7 human souls and free the monsters from the underground. Little Sans, an alternate version of Sans from the Little Tale AU, created by... I actually don't know, so once again, please leave that in the comments. Couldn't find anybody. In this universe, Sans is, well, little. I remember reading these comics back in 2015 or 2016, but I'm not really sure if there's any big differences. I do remember enjoying them, though. They were very cute. Hardtale Sans is an alternate version of Sans from the Hardtale universe created by YouTuber Said Draws Near. In this universe, Sans has fire powers, and he also has a cracked skull and a red hoodie. Alright, I think I'm gonna stop the video now. I hope you enjoyed, but my throat is really starting to hurt, so I'm sorry for the shorter video. I think I'm going to start recording some other stuff besides Undertale now, because I am starting to get a little tired of it, but I will come back to it eventually. So I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you very much. Please subscribe. Goodbye.